everyone, and welcome to Positive by Design. Good people talking about real shit and easy to implement success methods. Hosted by Social Jane Media, brought to you by yours truly, Sarah Glenn. I am the creator and CEO of Social Jane Media, a certified social media marketing expert and the branding specialist that many entrepreneurs turn to. If you're looking for inspiration from other entrepreneurs and high-vibing humans, you're in the right place. So settle in, get comfy, and let's get started. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how it is totally okay to borrow success until you have your own. And I really think that this is actually a big misconception for a lot of entrepreneurs that are starting their journey. They feel like they have to be the one with all the answers. Otherwise, people aren't going to trust them. And to be honest, that's just not true. As long as you can position yourself as the conduit that was the way that someone was able to find a solution for something, that edifies you. That automatically positions you as the trusted individual that somebody can rely upon to help them find answers for things. Because depending how long you've been listening to these episodes, you might start to recognize that a very large underlying value that I have in my business and that I teach to all of my clients is be a valuable resource. Be the person that someone can turn to when they are struggling with something, and be the one that they come to find a solution. And that doesn't mean that you specifically are the one that always has the solution, but you're going to help them find the answers. You're going to help connect them with somebody who might have the solution, with something that might have the solution, right? So borrowing somebody else's success until you have your own is such a great strategy. Such a great strategy. And not to mention that by doing this, you're going to gain confidence. Like, absolutely, you're going to gain confidence because you're going to be able to see how other people are running their businesses. You're going to see how they're doing it, what they're doing, the tools that they're using, how they speak when they do a live. All of these things are now, you're logging them as like, oh, okay, now maybe I can implement that into my business. Maybe I could adopt that as a strategy that I use. You know, you're exposing yourself to how other people are doing business, and it's going to help you run yours and do yours even better. So don't be afraid to loop other people in that are finding success and ask them to come do like a guest training in your Facebook group, or ask them if you can interview them and then put it into your Facebook group. 9 times out of 10, anybody you ask, they're going to say yes, especially if you're an entrepreneur in the online space. You're marketing yourself, right? You're marketing your business. So to have an opportunity to come into somebody else's group and share your expertise, your freebies, your knowledge, most entrepreneurs are going to jump at that opportunity and say, hell yes. Yeah, book me. Let's get me into the group. I'm going to tell my community about it because I want them seeing that I am branching out and I'm helping other communities. It edifies them and it also edifies you. It's a mutually beneficial transaction between the two of you when you do this. And you can turn around and you could do the same for the person you're asking. So, you know, if you've got somebody that you're like, oh, you're amazing at time management. I wish that I could really adopt some of your strategies more and more, but what I have learned from you is super helpful. Would you please come into my group and do a guest training on how you time manage and you're able to get everything done in the day? You ask somebody that's good at time management, if you ask them in that manner, they're going to say yes. They're going to say yes. Absolutely. I would love to come into your group and share this information, provide like maybe a freebie, some sort of lead magnet, because now you're going to start exposing your community to this new entrepreneur. This new entrepreneur is now going to be exposing their community to you. It's a win-win. So why aren't we doing this more? Now that I've started this podcast series, I have started doing this more and more myself. I'm guilty of thinking that I have to be the one with all the answers. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that that doesn't happen to me. No, I have the same self-sabotaging behaviors that we all have. The difference is that I recognize it in myself when others maybe don't recognize it in themselves, and I have the tools to do something about it. I've been exposed to business trainings. I've been exposed to, groups of other entrepreneurs that can tell me, hey, that's a self-sabotaging behavior. Stop it. You're better than that. You can do this. And so that's what I'm here to do for you. I'm here to tell you, you can do this. Even if you don't feel successful right now, that's just a lie you're telling yourself. We're not going to be loyal to these limiting beliefs anymore. It's time to move past them. And a strategy that you can use to do this, and to do this in a really effective way, is by borrowing other people's success and getting them into your realm, into your community. So I did this in the very beginning of my group, and you could go back and look at some of the early stuff that I have in my group when I'm doing like some interviews and some guest trainings and things like that. They're messy, they're clunky, like it's just what it is. It's part of the growth process. But by doing those, it gave me confidence to do more. It gave me confidence to step out of the box, to learn more, to express myself differently. It was all a learning opportunity. So I highly encourage you to borrow someone's success, and reaching out to others. Let's say you are in like network marketing. You could reach out to your upline or a sister line or even one of your customers, and you could ask to do an interview with them. Like, why couldn't you do that? And what's so cool about this is you don't have to find people that have information or expertise in something that you're like totally unaware of, right? So you don't have to find somebody that talks about like architecture. I'm trying to think of a example. So like my group is, all about social media, branding and marketing tips, design tips, mindset work, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to go search for an entrepreneur that's in architecture unless that person has a message that is resonating with me and would resonate with my community. It's okay to find somebody that's actually in a very similar space as you, because their perspective of how they're growing their business, what they're doing in their business, their perspective is different than yours. So it does not matter if the topic, the content is relatively similar to what you share. That's okay. You can still bring them into your group and have them do a training or have them do an interview, because the way they say something might resonate with somebody in your group. And then in turn, it'll help edify you because you're also doing these same trainings and having the same kind of content. So when they hear it from somebody else, they're like, "Ooh, that was good." And then they hear it from you and they're like, "Oh, okay, now I'm really hearing this." It's a way to really ensure that messaging gets across crystal clear. So I would actually encourage to start reaching out to people that are actually in similar spaces to you. Because that's a way, it's sort of staying in your comfort zone while not really being in your comfort zone. And then when you start doing this more and more, you're going to naturally start to grow your network of people, and you're going to start discovering all sorts of different types of people around you. And really tap into the passions of the people that are around you. So I'll give you an example of one of my business besties. We connected through health and wellness, but as we both evolved and grew and started to really get some clarity on what we're passionate about, those things are very different. I'm passionate about branding and business coaching and all of the design work, and she's passionate about financial education, investments, all of that stuff. Yet, we still have this commonality of aligning with a wealth frequency, creating an abundant life, energetically pouring into ourselves and creating a healthy mind body experience. Like, we still have those very, very same ingrained beliefs, even though our areas of expertise are completely different. And that's okay. So I've had her come on to the podcast before. I've had her come into my group before, because even if she's going to be talking about finance, we're still talking about mindset. Even though she's talking about investing, we're still talking about how to be brave, how to be courageous, how to build a business. So all of these things can coincide with each other. You just have to really open your mind to the possibility of it. And you guys, you're never going to get a yes if you never ask the question. So my challenge for you after listening to this episode, go reach out to 3 to 5 entrepreneurs and ask them if they would do a training in your group. Let them know what you think they're really good at. And then follow it up with, I would be so honored if you would come into my group, do a guest training, or let me interview you. Can we get something on the books? I would love to see and hear when you guys get this done. Tag me in the comments of the post that, of the interview that you do. Send me a DM. Like, this is exciting. This is a great way to gain your confidence, expand your network, pour into your community. There are just so many wins here. There's really no reason not to do it. So I'm super excited, and go reach out to some other entrepreneurs and get some guest experts scheduled to pour into your community. That was so much fun. I hope you found this episode helpful. If you want to get a shout out or maybe even inspire a fellow entrepreneur, go ahead and take a screenshot of yourself listening to this episode and tag us in your stories at Social Jane Media. Positive by Design is brought to you by Sarah Glenn, CEO of Social Jane Media, the branding and business coaching agency that teaches you how to discover your authentic brand, lead with value, and build the business you desire. If you're ready for more, head over to the Social Jane community. Link is in the show notes. I'll see you inside.